BCOP news time 9. Standby. has been charged in shoplifting in a local Macy's. The once Star News anchor had been charged late Thursday on larceny charges for coming to a private appointment using using her former employer's account to gain access to what she claimed in the report was much needed clothes, given that I still receive pay and benefits, claims Rodriguez directly. We will have more on later on this newscast. BCOP TV and Channel 6 News is sister property to BCOP 990 by Eleanor Communications. A boyfriend has been charged for throwing a glass cup at his girlfriend. Harry Duclaquette has been arrested for throwing a glass of wine in an altercation with another woman Wednesday night in Littleton Heights. When another woman tried to grab the attention of Duclaquette, the girlfriend then slapped him in the face and threw his wine glass into her face. When an off-duty police officer came to check in the situation, she knew him and told him to call the cops as he was about to claim assault. He was released on bail for $100. A Woodstock apartment fire that claimed the lives of two minifigures on Wednesday morning had an early indication of a failure of the property owner. According to fire officials, the owner had at least 7 citations to comply within a year. Only 2 had been fulfilled, and a few were waivers. The 2 alarm blazes took firefighters a long time to fight. The Copenhagen Tea Party, yes, the one with the letter T as its initial, had sued the Middleburg State's Attorney General's office on Thursday, reports citing that the city's annual meeting was tampered with, meddling with the process. But according to sources familiar with the situation, the Tea Party may not get their wish. According to state law, the city does not have a typical election process, and therefore the law cannot be used on that level. BCOP News Time is approaching 10:07. We'll check traffic and weather together next. BCOP News Time 10:08. It's time for traffic and weather together on the 8th. Let's go live to Nicole Berrucci for your final check in the air in Chopper 990. Nicole? February kind of above normal, but a couple of springs. We had a very volatile month between precipitation. Orange is going to start to look like we're going to go into line. Today it's going to be clear and mostly clear. Temperatures in the mid-30s. Tonight lows near the teens with the wind chill factor. There will be a 15-mile-an-hour wind. Tomorrow and into the weekend we will have some precipitation, some flurries, Sunday a little more snow, up to about a foot of snow. as we get along on Sunday and Monday. Currently, the temperature is 28, going up to 35 degrees in downtown Copenhagen. This is Jackie Giazzo with the Channel 6 Weather Center for News Radio 990 BCOP. Currently in downtown Copenhagen, actually in Woodstock, the temperature is 21, going up to 26 in that area. BCOP News Time, 10:10. Now, Republicans are asking the Justice Department to investigate ex-lawyer for President Donald Trump, citing the House Oversight Committee to ask the Justice Department for criminal prosecution, claiming Cohen had committed perjury and knowingly false statements to lawmakers during his long testimony on Wednesday. Ohio Representative Jim Jordan referred to the criminal investigation to the Justice Department, highlighting several areas of the testimony. Cohen responded, "I was extremely proud to be the personal attorney of the President of the United States of America," Cohen told lawmakers Wednesday. "I do not want to go into the White House." Elijah Cummings, Democrat, said, "I have no knowledge of that. He didn't say he wasn't. Think about it. He could make a hell of a lot more money outside the White House than in the White House. I don't know what you want from that." BCOP News Time, 10:11. Where are we next on the rundown here? The Maybrook State University Board of Trustees is going to meet today to discuss the tuition of increase of revenues as the growth of state universities is dropping. State trustees are now assessing if a 4.5% hike for freshmen will help the shortfall. There's at least $50 million deficit for the new year. However, pay increases for senior staff is not in doubt. However, there was no comment by the trustees with that regards. BCOP News Time, 10:12. A California woman who attacked a 91-year-old Mexican with a concrete brick last year was sentenced to 15 years in prison. LaQuisha Jones of Los Angeles had pleaded no contest in December to one count of elder abuse, infliction of injury. She was also admitted to be using a deadly weapon, a brick, and that she had inflicted great bodily harm upon the victim. We were able to reach a deposition. I believe it accurately reflects her conduct, Deputy District Attorney Frank Demick told a CNN affiliate KBC TV. It reflects a significant punishment and sends a message to our community that this sort of violence will not be tolerated. On July 4th, Rodriguez was walking to a park where he passed a woman and a girl, he said. The woman assaulted him without warning, hitting him with a concrete brick, and enlisting a group of men to beat him up, he said. Rodriguez, who turned 92 in September, suffered a broken jaw, cheekbones, and ribs, and countless bruises, his family said. KTLA told CNN that the sentence was recommended by prosecutors after a plea deal that was dropped in an attempted murder charge. It withdrew a hate crime enhancement if it had gone up for 3 years, Sonic said. Rodriguez told KBC-TV if God forgives Jones, he forgives her, according to a CNN translation. BCOP News Time approaching 10:14. Sports is next. The BCOP Business Breakfast is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DeCarlo will talk to you about keeping strong in the highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 12th at the Old Woodstock Inn at 8 o'clock a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. We hope to see you then. The Maybrook State Department of Transportation would like to remind you that it is state law to give public safety workers space during incidents. If you see flashing lights, move over. This message is brought to you by the MSDOT on behalf of the New York State Association of Broadcasters and the station. The BCOP Business Breakfast is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DeCarlo will talk to you about keeping strong in the highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 12th at the Old Woodstock Inn at 8 o'clock a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. We hope to see you then. Right now, the current temperature is 22, going up to 35 degrees. Then your forecast coming up in 3 minutes. Oh, got the wrong sounder. Good morning. It is 10:15. Coming up next on News Radio 990 BCOP, actor Luke Perry is hospitalized. We'll have that in a few minutes after sports. BCOP News Time 10:15. It's time for sports. And Don Diostato has your Jackie 718 Sports Bar and Grill sports update. Don, what's the latest? Good morning, Stephen. How do you like that hockey game last night with Tampa Bay and Boston? Well, the Big Bad Bruins beat them 4-1, 3 goals within the last 10 minutes of regulation. The Lightning did manage to score a point near the end of the regulation after a goalie made a spectacle of himself, breaking his stick after the last goal made from the Bees. Perhaps he saw the blood dripping down the ice as the Bruins killed the Lightning's 10-game winning streak. The Islanders smashed the Leafs 6-1 as John Tavares had made his first appearance at Nassau after leaving from Toronto. Some sports scores around the hockey leagues. Columbus beat Philly 4-3. The Panthers were at the Strip but lost them to a goal by the Golden Knights, winning by 6. And on a serious matter, the Patriots owner Bob Kraft has now been formally charged with 2 counts of soliciting prostitution in Jupiter, Florida, and court record shows he's going to enter in a plea deal on those charges. MSPN's Kurt Kiley will join the BCOP sports page at 5:15 tonight, for analysis impossible disruption to the Patriots' performance after 2 decades dynasty. I'm John Giordano, and this has been a BCOP 6 report, sports report. It's a long day. Sports at 15:45 around the clock. BCOP News Time 7. I'm so tongue-tied. We're all tongue-tied. Must be that snowstorm yesterday. Traffic and weather next. The BCOP Business Breakfast is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DeCarlo will talk to you about keeping strong in the highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 12th at the Old Woodstock Inn at 8 o'clock a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. We hope to see you then. The New York State Department of Transportation would like to remind you that it is state law to give public safety workers speed during incidents. If you see flashing lights, move over. This message is brought to you by the MSDOT on behalf of the New York State Association of Broadcasters and the station. The BCOP Business Breakfast is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DeCarlo will talk to you about keeping strong in the highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 12th at the Old Woodstock Inn at 8 o'clock a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. We hope to see you then. Checking the markets, neglected to do that at 15 after the hour. The Dow Jones Industrial Average at last check is up 127 points. The NASDAQ Composite was just up over 40. We'll check another update when we go to business at 10:25. BCOP News Time, 10:18. Sorry about that. Traffic and weather together. Let's go live to traffic, the traffic center, and here's, identify yourself, please. Good morning. We have a disabled vehicle on the green braking and not through light. Expect delays. Please use exit 86 or 80. February kind of above normal by a couple of degrees. We had a very volatile month between precipitation. We're just going to start to look like we're going to go into lighting. Today's going to be clear and mostly clear temperatures in the mid-30s. Tonight, lows near the teens with the wind chill factor. There will be a 50-mile-per-hour wind. Tomorrow and into the weekend we will have some precipitation, some flurries, Sunday a little more snow, up to about a foot of snow as we get along on Sunday and Monday. Currently the temperature is 28 going up to 35 degrees in downtown Copenhagen. This is Jackie Seals, also channel the Florida Center for the Dream and BCOP. BCOP News Time 10:20.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brick-England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949.
BCOP News Time 1021. Former 90210 actor Luke Perry is hospitalized. CNN reported yesterday that actor Luke Perry has been hospitalized. A representative for the actor told them on Thursday that Mr. Perry is under observation at the hospital. The spokesperson would not elaborate on what led to his hospitalization. Perry rose to his fame in the 1990s for his Fox TV series hit Beverly Hills 90210 from 1990 to 2000. He currently stars as Fred Andrews on the CW's Riverdale. A number of Perry's former 90210 co-stars took to social media to extend their support for a quick recovery. Ian Ziering wrote on Instagram, "No words can express what my heart feels for hearing today's shocking news. Let's all say a prayer for a speedy recovery." The ski report's next. BCOP News Time 1024. Business is next.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brick-England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949. The Middleburg State Department of Transportation would like to remind you that it is state law to give public safety workers space during incidents. If you see flashing lights, move over. This message is brought to you by the MSDOT on behalf of the Middleburg State Association of Broadcasters and this station. The BCOP Business Breakfast is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DeCarlo will talk to you about keeping strong in the highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 12th at the Old Woodstock Inn at 8 o'clock a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. We hope to see you then.
BCOP News Time, 10:25, time for the business report. If you've been waiting for a Tesla Model 3, now you can get it for $35,000 and it's ready to order. The fiery CEO of the company tweeted out late last night in after hours trading, claiming that he was making some Tesla news. However, it's been almost 3 years after such promise has been made. How's that going to work? CNBC reported this morning that he will be laying off employees and taking charge against the company's profits for fiscal first quarter. And if you've been waiting for the longest time for a breakup of Gap and Old Navy, well, last night they reported after the bell that Gap will spin off Old Navy. After the bell, the stock surged nearly 25% in extended trading. However, at the same time, Gap reports that they will be closing about 230 stores in the next couple of years, as they reported a mixed holiday quarter. The spin-off company will be called Newco. I'm not making that one up. We'll see if that's a working name. BCOP News Time, 10:27. Time for our next traffic and weather update in a moment.
If BCOP 990 was his music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brookhaven market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949. 231-272-9949.
It's time for traffic and weather together on the 8th. Let's go to John Deere, Tim Robinson. My apologies for the traffic, Tim.
Good morning. We have a disabled vehicle on the Green Brookhaven Notch Thruway. Expect delays. Please use exit 86 or 88 under the lamppost for getting around the situation. We do have another incident with the state police situation near the barracks. We warn that to use caution. Mass transit is on or close to schedule except for airlines. Please call your airlines. There's many delays. Our next traffic update is less than 10 minutes on News Radio 990 BCOP. Let's go to Jackie Diogo in the Channel 6 Water Center.
I'll fill in for Jackie today. Temperatures will be in the mid-30s over the weekend. It will be becoming more colder than normal and some accumulating snow. Currently, the downtown temperature in Copenhagen is 27 going up to 35.
The Middleburg State Department of Transportation would like to remind you that it is state law to give public safety workers space during incidents. If you see flashing lights, move over. This message is brought to you by the MSDOT on behalf of the Middleburg State Association of Broadcasters and this station. In the spirit of company, news, traffic, and weather, this is BCOP Company.
Good morning. It is 10:30 almost. here's the top stories this morning. A couple of minifigures had died in an apartment fire in Woodstock. Officials blame noncompliance for the clause. And President Trump's own lawyer might be held for perjury. The stories are next. First up, Channel 6 News anchor Lindsay Rodriguez has been charged in shoplifting at the local Macy's. News Radio 990 senior Marcel has the latest.
Lindsay Rodriguez is in the news again. This morning, Rodriguez will be in a Copenhagen court this morning after she allegedly stole expensive items at a Copenhagen gallery at Macy's on Monday. She has scheduled a private appointment with a store employee for new clothing. After the employee noticed that she was using her account from Channel 6, of which she was terminated immediately following pending charges for prostitution on December 23rd, he confronted her for committing fraud. It is unclear what she shoplifted. She's scheduled to meet the judge between 11 to noon today. Near Marcel, downtown Copenhagen.
A boyfriend has been charged for throwing a glass cup at his girlfriend. Harry Duclac has been arrested for throwing a glass of wine in an altercation with another woman. The fight began late Wednesday in Littleton Heights, where another woman tried to grab the attention of Duclac. The girlfriend then slapped him in the face and threw his wine glass in her face. When an off-duty police officer came back to check on the situation, she knew him and told him to call the cops as she was about to claim assault. He was released on bail for $100. An East Woodstock apartment fire that had claimed the lives of two minifigures on Wednesday morning had early indication of the failure of the property owner, who failed to comply with proper safety codes. According to the report from the fire chief, the department cited violations to code, and property owner failed to file proper waivers and did not bring it back up to code. The Mini-Brick State Fire Marshal's now investigating the deadly blaze. The Mini-Brick State University Board of Trustees is about to hike in state tuition, as News Radio 990's Jack Torsilla reports.
The Mini-Brick State University System Board of Trustees is going to meet today to discuss the tuition increase for revenues as the growth of state universities is dropping. State trustees are now assessing a 4.5% hike for freshmen will help the shortfall. There's at least $50 million deficit in the new year. However, pay increases for senior staff is not in doubt. However, there is no comment by the trustees with that regard. Jack Torsilla, Copenhagen.
The Copenhagen Tea Party has sued the Mini-Brick State Attorney General's office on Thursday's reports, citing the city's annual meeting was tampered with meddling in the process. But according to sources familiar with the situation, the Tea Party may not be able to get their wish. According to state law, the city does not have typical election processes, and therefore the law cannot be used on that level. Republicans are now asking the U.S. Justice Department to investigate ex-lawyer for President Trump. Citing the House Oversight Committee, they asked the Justice Department for criminal prosecution, claiming that Cohen had committed perjury and omitting false statements to lawmakers during the day of his day-long testimony on Wednesday. Ohio Rep. Jim Jordan had referred to the criminal investigation to the Justice Department, highlighting several areas of the testimony. Cohen responded, "I was extremely proud to be the personal attorney for the President of the United States of America." Cohen told lawmakers yesterday, "I don't want to go to the lighthouse." BCOP News Time at 10:34. We'll check your markets next.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any North American brick-and-mortar market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-99409. 231-272-9949.
Good morning. It's 10:35. I'm Stephen Clickford giving you the midday report. Checking the markets right now. The Dow is down a little bit, still up at 79 points. The Nasdaq Composite is up just around 40. S&P or Nasdaq's up 34, and the S&P's up 11. Other news going on this morning. The mini brick. Oh no, I got that straight. Or I read that straight. Let me try that again. BCOP news time 10:36. Other news this morning. In an attempt to demonstrate his Donald Trump's diplomatic gamble with North Korea is working instead of ending no joint agreement after Kim Jong-un insisted all U.S. sanctions to be lifted in his country. That was a bridge too far for the U.S. president, who said Kim would offer to take some steps towards dismantling his nuclear arsenal, but doesn't want to warrant any debilitating actions for the regime on the country. Sometimes you have to walk, Trump said during a news conference following the conclusion of the summit, which broke up earlier than planned. This is just one of those times. But it was evident from the early in the summit that Trump was seeking to tamp North Korea advance its nuclear weapons program. I've been saying it's too much from the beginning, and that speed's not important to me, Trump said earlier Thursday at the summit's outset. Speed's not important to me. What's important is that we do the right deal. BCOP News Time 10:37. Traffic. We're on the 8s next.
The Mini-Brick State Department of Transportation would like to remind you that it is state law to give public safety workers space during incidents. If you see flashing lights, no rollback. This message is brought to you by the MASDOT on behalf of the Mini-Brick State Association of Broadcasters and the station. If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brickingland market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949. 231-272-9949.
Time for traffic and weather together on the 8th. We're going to go live to traffic control. Just give me a moment. We're going to go live to John Giordano. Get to him in a moment.
Good morning, Stephen. We still have to see what vehicle on the Braking Thruway. We've seen this on the DOT camera. This incident is causing it on the northbound side, and the vehicle stopped. We do have some rubbernecking on the southbound, and please use the Indian Post Road between exits 86 and 88 on the north and southbound lane to get around the situation. We still have a stable vehicle in Brickmont on 91 here A1. The vehicle is on the shoulder side. Mass transit is delayed on CIA. Call your airline. If you see what we're not seeing, please tell me by calling us at 236-975-5555. This is Tim Robinson here for Traffic Update in less than 10 minutes on News Radio 990 BCOP.
Good morning. Happy March 1st. The NAC February kind of above normal by a couple of degrees. We had a very volatile month between precipitation. Markets start to look like they're going to go into lining. Today it's been clear and mostly clear. Temperatures in the mid 30s tonight, lows near the teens. The wind chill factor there will be a 50-mile-an-hour wind. Tomorrow and into the weekend we will have some precipitation, some flurries. Sunday a little more so, up to about a foot of snow as we get along on Sunday and Monday. Currently the temperature is 28, going up to 35 degrees in downtown Copenhagen. This is Jackie Hughes. I'll also
Before I was diagnosed by my doctor.
BCOP.
BCOP News Time 1040.
The Neighbor State Department of Transportation would like to remind you that it is state law to give public safety workers space during incidents. If you see flashing lights, move over. This message is brought to you by the MSDOT on behalf of the Neighbor State Association of Broadcasters and the station. The BCOP Business Breakfast is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DeCarlo will talk to you about keeping fun in a highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 12th at Old Woodstock Inn at 8 o'clock a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. I hope to see you there.
BCOP News Time 1041. Here's your wine and dine report. BCOP News Time 1040. Right now in downtown Copenhagen, it is 27 going up to 35 degrees with mostly clear skies forecast in just less than 3 minutes. Let's go to the sports desk. Um, BCOP News time 10:45 in time for the sports. John Deere Studdles and the Jackie 718 Sports Bar Grill Sports Desk. John, what's the latest? Good morning, Stephen. The Islanders smashed the lead 6-1 as John Tavares had made his first appearance at Nassau after leaving to Toronto. NHL board tonight on Fox News Channel. Tucker Carlson tonight. What has the mainstream media done wrong? That's tonight on Spectrum Channel 727, and it's brought to you locally by Jack's Towing Service. BCOP News Time 10:48. It's time for another check on the traffic and weather on the 8th. Let's go to the Traffic Control Center for the very latest.
Good morning, Stephen. This is Electricity vehicle on the Frankfurt Gannett Thruway. You've seen this on the MSDOT cameras. Engine is covering it on the northbound side, and the vehicle stopped. We do have some rubbernecking on the southbound and occasionally in Post Road between exits 86 and Avenue on the north or southbound lanes to get around the situation. We still have a stable vehicle in Berkmont on 91 near A1. The vehicle is on the Westwood side. Mass transit is delayed on PIA. Call your airline. If you see what we're not seeing, please you can tell me by calling us at 236-975-5555. This is Tim Robinson here. Traffic update in less than 10 minutes on News Radio 990 BCOP.
Good morning, happy March 1st. And it's February, kind of above normal by a couple of degrees. We had a very volatile month between precipitation. March is going to start to look like we're going to go into a lighting. Today's been clear and closely to temperatures in the mid-30s. Tonight lows near 15s. The wind chill factor they're looking at 59 mile winds. tomorrow, and into the weekend, we will have some precipitation, some flurries. Sunday, a little more so, up to so as we get along on Sunday and Monday. Currently, the temperature is 28, going up 35 degrees in downtown Copenhagen. This is Jackie Sears, also the channel for Weather Center for the June 990 BCOP.
Right now on Wall Street, Dow Jones Industrial Average up 87 points to 26,001. The Nasdaq Composite, or the S&P 500, up 1241 to 2,796. And the Nasdaq Composite is, there we go, 7567, up 35 and 30 points. We'll check another market update when we check the business update in a few minutes. BCOP News Time at 10:50.
The BCOP Business Breakfast is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DeCaro will talk to you about keeping strong in the highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 12th at the Old Woodstock Inn at 8 o'clock a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. We hope to see you then.
BCOP News Time 10:53. Former 90210 actor Luke Perry is hospitalized. CNN reported yesterday that actor Luke Perry has been hospitalized. A representative for the actor told CNN on Thursday that Mr. Perry is currently under observation at the hospital. A spokesperson would not elaborate on what led to his hospitalization. Perry rose to fame in the 1990s for his role of the Fox TV series hit Beverly Hills 90210 from 1990 to 2000. He currently stars as Fred Andrews in the CW series Riverdale. A number of Perry's former 90210 stars took to social media to extend their support for wishes for a quick recovery. Business is next. BCOP News Time at 10:54.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brooklyn market. Tap into the highest network of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949. 231-272-9949.
BCOP News Time 10:55. It's time for the business report from the Mainland Business Review newsroom, as it's a busy news day. Let's go to Don Hammerson. Good day. HBO has announced the CEO of HBO has announced his resignation after the bell Thursday, informing the newly formed Warner CEO that he would be wanted to leave earlier in February. The move might have been showing signs that the new parent company, AT&T Communications, wants to have more control of the company. John Starkey, the head of Warner Media, a veteran to AT&T, according to CNBC sources, effectively running the company. The two people didn't have a relationship, and sources telling the network that they're different people. There are several big news that occurred after the bell last night. Tesla announced on Twitter there was a big announcement. Well, that big announcement is the new Model 3, as it was anticipated for almost 3 years to the day. Elon Musk put his tweet on Twitter yesterday. The stock was halted and then went down after the news. However, Gap stock went up as Gap announced a spinoff of Old Navy. The company shot up nearly 25% in extended trading last night. Right now the markets are down. Right now Dow Jones Industrial averaged up 86 points. I'm Don Hammerson in the newsroom at the Mainland Business Review. And we'll check another market update in less than a half hour. BCOP News Time 10:57 on the dot.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any North American brick-and-mortar market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949. If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any North American brick-and-mortar market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949.
BCOP News Time 10:58. Time for traffic and weather together. Here is Tim Jackson. Whatever your name is, I'm blanking on your name. Here's your traffic report.
Good morning, we have a disabled vehicle on the same Brickey and Notch Thruway. Expect delays. Please use exit 86 or 80 on the Mainland Post Let's get wrong situation. We do have another incident with the state police situation near the barracks in Wilderness, so use caution. Mass transit is on or close to schedule except for airlines. Please call your airlines. There's many delays. Our next traffic update is in 10 minutes on U3 on 990 BCOP. Let's go to Jackie Bielko in the Channel 6 Weather Center.
I'll fill in for Jackie. Today will be mostly clear temperatures and seasonably mild, a little bit cooler going into the weekend. Currently, the downtown temperature is 27, going up to 35 in downtown.
In the spirit of company, choose traffic and weather. This is BCOP.
the network. Nice. Do I have my O fort? Did I prepare this? Nice. Do I have my O fort? Oh, I don't have that sound in there. Oh, damn. Right. Good afternoon. It's 11:04. I'm Stephen Clickford, and here are the top stories. As I get the copy here, hold on. Paper, that's fine. Channel 6 News anchor Lindsay Rodriguez has been charged in shoplifting at a local Macy's. The once Star News anchor had been charged late Thursday for larceny charges for coming into a private appointment using her former employer's account to gain access to what she claimed in the report was much needed clothes, given that I still receive pay and benefits, claims Rodriguez directly. We'll have more on this story later on in this broadcast. BCOP TV and Channel 6 is sister property to BCOP 990 from Eleanor Communications. A boyfriend has been charged for throwing a glass cup at his girlfriend. Harry Duclaquette has been arrested for throwing a glass of wine after an altercation with another woman. The fight began late Wednesday in Littleton Heights when another woman tried to grab the attention of Duclaquette. The girlfriend then slapped him in the face and threw a wine glass in her face. When an off-duty police officer came to check in on the situation, she knew him and told him to call the cops as she was about to claim assault. He was released on bail for $100. A Woodstock apartment fire that had claimed the lives of two minifigures on Wednesday morning had early indication of a failure of the property owner. According to fire officials, the owner had at least 7 citations to comply within a year. Only 2 had been fulfilled and a few were waivers. They did not quantify which. The 2-alarm blaze took firefighters a long time to fight. The Copenhagen Tea Party sued the Manberg State's Attorney General's office on Thursday, citing that the city's annual meeting was tampered with meddling in the process. But according to sources familiar to the situation, the Tea Party may not be able to get their wish. According to Manberg State law, the city does not have the typical election process, and therefore the law cannot be used on that level. BCOP News Time 11:07. We'll check traffic and weather together on the 8th next. It's time for traffic and weather together on the 8th. We check it every 10 minutes at 8, 18, 28, 38, and 48, and 58 around the clock. Let's go live to another traffic update. And now we're going to go to John Giordano. And he's standing by.
Good morning. We have a disabled vehicle in the Frank Berkey onto Parkway. Expect delays. We are still having delays. The incidents are on northbound. We have problems on the southbound as well. This is going to creep north and south, so please use exit 86 or 88 to get around the situation. Let's go clockwise around the region. We have a problem further south with the police situation. You have state police barracks in Holderness. So use caution. The backup is now going up to about 20 minutes. Use alternate routes, using back roads if necessary. Further western, State 91 south on the truck has now been cleared on the shoulder. It's now back to 2 lanes. Closer to 291, we have another disabled vehicle that's in the process of being cleared. We still have problems in downtown Copenhagen where we have a city-bound Constitution Avenue closed for utility work. Centennial Road is closed for road repairs in both directions. On the neighboring state Victoria southbound, we have an accident near on exit 24, just passed by the Burlington Farms area. Delays left and right on CIA. Please call your airline. Your next traffic update in less than 10 minutes on News Radio 990 BCOP.
Now the weather report with Jackie Diogo in the Channel 6 Weather Center. Jackie?
Good morning. Happy March 1st. It's going to feel more like early February as opposed to early March. Temperatures will be near 35 today, and it will get cooler for the weekend with some snow, with about a foot of snow by Sunday. Repeating current temperature, it is 27 going up to 35 in downtown Copenhagen. This is Jackie Diogo.
Currently, the downtown temperature in Copenhagen, it is 27 going up to 35 in downtown. We'll be back in a moment.
The Mini-Brick State Department of Transportation would like to remind you that it is state law to give public safety workers space during incidents. If you see flashing lights, move over. This message is brought to you by the MASDOT on behalf of the Mini-Brick State Association of Broadcasters and the station. The BCOP Business Breakfast is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DeCarlo will talk to you about keeping strong in the highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 12th at the Old Woodstock Inn at 8 o'clock a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. We hope to see you then.
BCOP News Time 11:12. Now, Republicans are asking the Justice Department to investigate ex-lawyer for President Donald Trump. Citing the House Oversight Committee, they asked the Justice Department for criminal prosecution, claiming that Cohen was committing perjury and knowingly false statements to lawmakers during his day-long testimony on Wednesday. Ohio Rep. Jim Jordan had referred to the criminal investigation to the Justice Department for criminal prosecution, claiming that Cohen committed perjury and knowingly false statements to lawmakers during his day-long testimony on Wednesday. Ohio Rep. Jim Jordan had referred to the criminal investigation to the Justice Department, highlighting several areas of the testimony. Cohen responded that I was extremely proud to be the personal attorney for the President of the United States of America. Cohen told lawmakers Wednesday, I did not want to get into the White House. I do not have any knowledge of that. He said he wasn't, and I believe him, Elijah Cummings said. I mean, think about it. He could have made a hell of a lot more money outside the White House than the White House. I mean, I don't know why you would not want to do that. BCOP News Time 11:13. Sports is next.
The BCOP Business Breakfast is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DeCarlo will talk to you about keeping strong in the highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 12th at the Old Woodstock Inn at 8 o'clock a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. We hope to see you then. If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949.
BCOP News Time 11:14. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 47 points. The Nasdaq is up 27 points, and the S&P 500 is up. We'll check the market in just a few moments' time. Good morning. It is March 1st, Friday, March 1st, and I'm Stephen Clickford. Here is the top stories coming up after sports. Next, 90210 actor is in the hospital. We'll have more on that in a few moments. And we'll check the markets. There is a bunch of business news. We'll focus on that in just a few moments' time. Let's go to John Giostutto at Jackie's 718 Bar and Grill Sports Desk. John, what is the latest? Good morning. How about that hockey game last night with the Tampa Bay at Boston, while the Big Bad Bruins beat them 4-1 with 3 goals in the last 10 minutes of regulation? The Lightning did manage to score a point near the end after the goalie made a spectacle of himself, breaking his stick after the last goal from the Bruins. Maybe he saw some blood dripping on the ice as the Bruins killed the Lightning's 10-game winning streak. The Islanders smashed the Leafs 6-1 as John Tavares made his first appearance at Nassau after leaving to Toronto. Some other scores around the Hockey League. Columbus beat Philly 4-3. The Panthers were at the Strip but lost them to the Golden Knights, winning by 6. On a serious matter, the Patriots owner Robert Kraft has been formally charged with 2 counts of soliciting prostitution in Jupiter, Florida, and the court records show he's entered a non-plea agreement on those charges. MSPN's Kirk Kiley will join the BCOP sports page at 5:15 tonight for analysis on the potential disruption to the Patriots' performance this coming season after the latest events. Also, locally, we do have an update on local sports tonight. Copenhagen Capitals will play the Brick York Highlands. Tip-off at Clicktel Arena at 7:05 will be heard on BCOP FM. Minnetonka Monsters will be playing against Brick York Builders. Tip-off at Mason Square Garden at 7:30 p.m. tonight. I'm John Giostutto, and this is the BCOP Sports Report at 15:45 around the clock. BCOP News Time, 11:17.
The BCOP Business Breakfast is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DeCaro will talk to you about keeping thriving in the highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 12th at the Old Woodstock Inn at 8 o'clock a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. We hope to see you then. The Middleburg State Department of Transportation would like to remind you that it is state law to give public safety workers space during incidents. If you see flashing lights, move over. This message is brought to you by the MSDOT on behalf of the Middleburg State Association of Broadcasters and the station.
It's time for traffic and weather together on the 8th. Let's go to CC Skellen at the BCOP Traffic Center.
Good morning. We have a disabled vehicle on the Frank Brickey and Parkway. Expect delays. We are still having delays. The incidents are on northbound, but we have problems on the southbound as well. This is going to creep north and south, so please use exit 86 or 88 to get around the situation. Let's go clockwise around the region. We have a problem further south with the police situation. You have the state police barracks in Holderness, so use caution. The backup is now going up to about 20 minutes. Use alternate routes, using backwards if necessary. Further western state 91 southbound, the truck has now been cleared on the shoulder. It's now back to 2 lanes. Closer to 291, we have another disabled vehicle that's in the process of being cleared. We still have problems in downtown Copenhagen where we have city-bound Constitution Avenue closed for utility work. Centennial Road is closed for road repairs in both directions. On the Neighborhood State 3 southbound, we have an accident near on exit 24, just passed by the Burlington Farms area. Delays left and right on CIA. Please call your airline. Your next travel
And you were brought to you by the Ford, the new 2019 Ford F Series 150 pickup is Northern England's #1 pickup for 40 years. Let's go to the weather with Jackie Diogel in the Channel 6 Weather Center.
Good afternoon. The temperature today is going to feel a little bit less seasonal as we are entering into March 1st. Temperatures today will be in the mid-30s. We're going to be below average by a couple degrees tomorrow, and temperatures a little bit of same, but near 30. And on Sunday there will be some precipitation, about a foot of snow. As we go into the rest of the week, into next week, the temperatures will be a little bit below normal. We should be in the mid-30s. Currently, the downtown temperature is 28, going up to 35 in downtown. This is Jackie Diogo.
Currently, downtown Copenhagen, it is 27, going up to 35.
The Middleburg State Department of Transportation would like to remind you that it is a state law to give public safety workers space during incidents. If you see flashing lights, move over. This message is brought to you by the MSDOT on behalf of the Middleburg State Association of Broadcasters and the station.
BCOP news time 11:21. We're going to be taking a half-hour break. We're going to go to Power Brunch at 11:45 to 12:15. So we'll be taking a quick break on that. Let's check the entertainment report. 90210 actor, the former 90210 actor Luke Perry has been hospitalized. CNN reported yesterday that actor Luke Perry has been hospitalized. A representative told CNN that on Thursday that Mr. Perry is currently under observation at the hospital. The spokesperson would not elaborate what led to his hospitalization. The spokesperson Perry rose to fame in the 1990s with Fox hit series Beverly Hills 90210 from 1990 to 2000. He currently stars as Fred Andrews on the CW's Riverdale. A number of Perry's former 90210 stars took to social media to extend their support and wishes for a quick recovery. And Singering wrote on Instagram, "No words can express how my heart feels hearing today's shocking news. Let's all say a prayer for his speedy recovery." The ski report, the wine and dining report is next. BCOP News Time 11:22.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949. 231-272-9949.
BCOP News Time 11:23. In an attempt to demonstrate his diplomatic gamble with North Korea in working instead of ending the no joint agreement with Kim Jong-un, insisted all U.S. sanctions to be lifted on his country. In the continuing battle against North Korea and the U.S., who said that Kim Jong-un would offer to take some steps to dismantling his nuclear arsenal, but not enough to warrant ending some debilitating sanctions for a regime on his country. Sometimes you have to walk, Trump said during a news conference following the conclusion of the summit, which broke up earlier than planned. This was just one of those times. I've been saying very much from the beginning the speech is not important to me, Trump said earlier Thursday after the summit's outset. Speech is not important to me. What is important is we do the right deal. BCOP News Time 11:24. Business is next.
The Middleburg State Department of Transportation would like to remind you that it is state law to give public safety workers space during incidents. If you see flashing lights, move over. This message is brought to you by the MSDOT on behalf of the Middleburg State Association of Broadcasters and the station.
BCOP News Time, 11:25. Let's go live to the business at the Mainland Business Review Newsroom. If you've been waiting for a Tesla Model 3, you can now get it for $35,000 and it's ready to order. The fiery CEO of the company tweeted out late last night in after-hours trading, claiming that he was making some Tesla news. However, it's been almost 3 years after such a promise was made. We'll see how that's going to work. We also have additional information on several retail fronts today. Gap and Old Navy will be splitting up in the next quarter or so after Gap reported a mixed holiday quarter. The stock went up 25% in extended hours trading last night. At the same time, Gap will be closing 230 stores. As I just mentioned to you, Limited Brands is also closing at least 70 of their Victoria's Secret branding stores, as Victoria's Secret is having a hard time 53 stores, as the company is struggling to handle consumer changes in female lingerie. That report. Business news at 25 and 30 and 55 around the clock. This is the latest business report. We'll send it back to you. Thank you, Don Haverson. BCOP News Time, 11:27. We're going to go to traffic and weather together next. And also, the Power Brunch crew will talk all about these latest developments in retail and the markets on Power Brunch beginning at 11:45. BCOP News Time, again, 11:27.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any North American brick-and-mortar market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949.
Traffic and weather together. Let's go live to Stacy Scallon with the latest. Stacy.
Good morning. We have a disabled vehicle on the Frank Berkey Parkway. Expect delays. We are still having delays. The incidents are on northbound, but we have problems on the southbound as well. This is going to creep north and south, so please use exit 86 or 88 to get around the situation. Let's go clockwise around the region. We have a problem further south with the police situation. You have the police barracks in Holderness, so use caution. It's now going up to about 20 minutes. Use alternate routes, using backwards if necessary. Further west, in State 91 southbound, the truck has now been cleared on the shoulder. It's now backed into 2 lanes. Closer to 291, we have another disabled vehicle that's in the process of being cleared. We saw problems in downtown Copenhagen, where we have a city-bound Constitution Avenue closed for utility work. Centennial Road is closed for road repairs in both directions. On the neighboring State 3 southbound, we have an accident near on exit 24, just passed by the Burlington Farms area. Delays left and right. CIA, please call your airline. Your next traffic update in less than 10 minutes on News Radio 990 PCOP. Good morning. Happy March 1st. It's going to feel more like early February as opposed to early March. Temperatures will be near 35 today, and it will get cooler for the weekend with some snow, a foot of snow by Sunday. Between current temperature, it is in the morning, and then going up to 35 in downtown Copenhagen. This is Jackie Diodell. In the spirit of Copenhagen, here's traffic and weather. This is BCOP Copenhagen.
Good morning. Today's Friday, March 1st, 2019, excuse me, at 11:30. I'm Stephen Clickford. Here is this morning's top stories. A couple of minifigures dead in an apartment fire in Woodstock. Officials blame non-compliance as the cause. President Trump's own lawyer may be held liable for perjury. Those stories are up next. First up on News Radio 990 BCOP. Lindsay Rodriguez, former Channel 6 news anchor, has been charged in shoplifting at the Copenhagen Galleria Macy's. Mina Marcel has the latest.
Lindsay Rodriguez is in the news again. This morning, Rodriguez will be in Copenhagen court this morning after she allegedly stole expensive items at a Copenhagen Galleria Macy's on Monday. She had scheduled a private appointment with a store employee for new clothing. After the employee noticed that she was using her account from Channel 6, of which she was terminated immediately following pending charges for prostitution on December 23rd, he confronted her for committing fraud. It is unclear what she shoplifted. She's scheduled to meet the judge between 11 to noon today. Nina Marcel, downtown Copenhagen.
A boyfriend has been charged for throwing a glass cup at his girlfriend. Harry Duquette has been arrested for throwing a glass of wine in an altercation with another woman. The fight began late Wednesday in Littleton Heights when another woman slapped him in the face and threw his wine glass into her face. He said she said got worse when an off-duty police officer came to check on the situation. She knew him and told him to call the cops as she was about to claim assault. He was released on bail for $100. An East Woodstock apartment fire that claimed the lives of two minifigures on Wednesday morning had an early indication of a failure on the property owner that failed to file proper waivers and didn't bring it back up to code. The Mini-Brick State Fire Marshal is now investigating the deadly blaze. BCOP News Time 11:32. The Mini-Brick State University System Board of Trustees is going to meet today to discuss the tuition increase for revenues as the growth for state universities is dropping. State trustees are now assessing if a 4.5% hike for freshmen will help the shortfall. There is at least $50 million deficit for the new year. However, pay increases for senior staff is not in doubt. However, there's no comments by the trustees with that regards. In over 150 years, Copenhagen has had two rejections to the proposed budget, but the first time in the city in its annual meeting, it's had an overwhelming 215 to 55 vote against the proposed budget. And now there's a follow-up meeting is near, and how will the taxpayers handle this? Danny Brixella will have that report later today on News Radio 990 BCOP. BCOP News Time 11:34. We'll check the markets next. Oh, that's the other story. Oh, that freaking bully. Sorry, my mic's up. BCOP News Time 11:35. We do have some breaking news coming on the wires. We got a report that Carl Icahn is trying to get control of the company, and Caesar's management is approving his stake in the company. As you know, Carl Icahn likes to get his grubby paws in companies that can't fight for themselves. We'll have further information on the business update. Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is teetering at 49 points, NASDAQ up 21 points. Another breaking news coming off the wires, Lyft has filed their S1 filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission. CNBC is reporting that Lyft will be trading on the NASDAQ stock market under the symbol as their name, Lyft, LYFT. They have a private valuation of $15 billion. This is literally hitting the wires at 11:36 Eastern Time. We'll try to get more information on the business update. This is going to be a very busy business day. We will go to we'll take a break and we'll read some more news next. BCOP News Time 11:36.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brooklyn market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949. 231-272-9949.
BCOP News Time 11:37. We're still following some real fluid breaking news today. It seems to be a big business news day today. Lyft is filing their S1 filing. A report on CNBC just within the last few seconds, their private valuation is about $20 billion. That's a big deal right now. This has been, $15 billion is conflicting reports. This is just hitting the wires right now. Stock price, we don't know when they will go public and what price it will be set at, but this has been a big deal because this company, the ride sharing company, IPO valuation, they're aiming to be at $20 billion for market capitalization. We'll continue to monitor this, as well as they're taking two-class stock structure, which that may or may not be good for for shareholders. We'll monitor this as soon as we have more information. BCOP News Time 11:38. It's time for traffic and weather together on the 8. Stacey Scallon's live at traffic control for the latest on the traffic. Stacey?
Good morning. We have a disabled vehicle on the Spring Breaking out to Parkway. Expect delays. We are still having the users on northbound. We have problems on the southbound as well. This is going to creep north and south. So please use exit 86 or 80 to get around the situation. So clockwise around the region. We have a problem further south with the police situation. We have 60 barracks and holiness. So use caution. The back of it's now going up to about 20 minutes. Use offense you can backwards if necessary. Further western state and southbound, the truck has now been cleared on the shoulder. It's now back to 2 lanes, closer to 291. This is another stable vehicle that's in the process of being cleared. We saw problems in downtown Copenhagen where we have City Mountain Constitution Avenue closed for utility work. Centennial Road is closed for road repairs in both directions. On the neighborhood 63 southbound, we have an accident near on exit 24 just passed by the Brooklyn Farm area. Delays left and right on CIA. Please call your airline. Your next traffic update in less than 10 minutes on News Radio 990 PCOP.
Jackie Diogos in the BCOP weather, the Channel 6 Weather Center for the latest.
Good morning. Happy March 4th. It's going to feel more like early February as opposed to early March. Temperatures will be near 35 today, and it will get cooler for the weekend with some snow with a to 35 in downtown Copenhagen. This is back to GFL.
Currently, the downtown temperature is 28, going up to 35. BCOP news time 11:40.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any North American brick-and-mortar market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949. 231-272-9949. The New York State Department of Transportation would like to remind you that it is a state law to public safety workers safe during incidents. Please be flashing lights and mobile. This message is brought to you by the MASDOT on behalf of the New York State Association of Broadcasters and its station.
BCOP news time 11:42. A California woman who attacked a 91-year-old Mexican man with concrete brick last year has been sentenced to 15 years in prison. Lakeisha Jones of Los Angeles pleaded no contest since December to one count of elder abuse, affliction, and injury. She also admitted for using a deadly weapon, a brick, and that she's inflicted great bodily injury upon the victim, Rodrigo Rodriguez. We were able to reach a deposition which I believe highly accurately reflects her conduct. Deputy District Attorney Frank Demick told the CNN affiliate KBC TV, it provides a significant punishment and sends a message to our community with this kind of sort of violence that will not be tolerated. On July 4th, Rodriguez was walking to the park when he passed a woman and a girl. He said the woman assaulted him without warning, pointing him in a concrete brick, enlisting a group of men to beat him. He said Rodriguez, who turned 92 in September, suffered a broken jaw, broken cheekbones, and 2 broken ribs and countless bruises, his family said. Prosecutors said Jones, 30, was also convicted in 2017 for making criminal threats, and she was on probation at the time of the attack for that felony. She was also on probation for misdemeanor. KTLA reported that the sentence was recommended by prosecutors after a plea deal had been dropped with an attempted murder charge. It also withdrew a hate crime enhancement that would have been added up to 3 years, Demick said. Rodriguez told KBC TV, if God forgives Jones, he forgives her, according to a CNN translation. Power Brunch is coming up in 60 seconds. I'll see you at the top. Good afternoon. We're approaching noon. This is Stephen Clickford. Here are the top stories. We are getting late breaking news on the Lindsay Rodriguez shoplifting case. We're working on that, as well as there's late breaking news on the the tuition hike. We'll have more of this coming up where SBS covers the world at noon. Coming back on at about 12:15, we'll go right to sports, traffic, and weather, and then um, do some news and business, and come back to news by 12:30. So, half-hour news, give me some time to reset. If there's any breaking general news, which I don't think there is anything, I'll tune in, but I'm not seeing that at the moment. Welcome back. We're temperature is 29 going up to 35. We'll have a weather update in just less than 3 minutes. Apologies for the technical difficulties. Good morning or good afternoon. This is Stephen Clickford. We are taking a break or coming back from Power Brunch. We have several business news and local news stories to cover right now. Let's check the current sports report. Here's Kyle Donnelly for the report. Kyle. Okay, good afternoon, Stephen. How about that hockey game with Tampa Bay and Boston? Well, the Bruins beat them 4-1, 1-3 goals in the last 10 minutes of regulation. The Lightning did manage to score a point near the end of the game, where the goalie made a spectacle of himself, breaking the stick at the last goal from the Bees. Perhaps he saw the blood dripping from the ice. The Bruins killed the Lightning in the 10-game winning streak. Copenhagen is going to be playing tonight. York tip-off at 7:35. Miniland is playing tonight as well. We do have a report on a trade for the Brixton Watchdogs. They will be training their quarterback for a new player. We'll work to get that more information as we soon get that. Also, on the New England Patriots, owner Bob Kraft has been formally charged with 2 counts for soliciting prostitution in Jupiter, Florida. Court records show that he's entered in a plea deal on those charges. Records show that he had requested to go into a non-jury trial, rolling the dice, so to speak, to clear his innocence. At 5:15 this afternoon, we'll have MSPN's Kirk Kiley to get reaction on the Patriots' point of view. Sports at 15 and 45 around the clock on News Radio 990 BCOP. BCOP News Time, 12:13, traffic and weather together next. BCOP News Time 12:18 traffic and weather together on the 8th. Here is Stacey Scallon at Traffic Control. You're brought to you by your local Brook England Ford dealers, with the Ford F Series 150 pickup being the best-selling Northern Brook England pickup for over 4 decades. Stacey?
Good afternoon. We have a stable vehicle on the Brook Thruway. The stable vehicle is starting to clear out, where we're still in visual delays for about 5-10 miles right near the city line. Use exit 91 at this point to get around the situation and use the New England Coast Road, your alternate. Moving clockwise around the region, we have another police incident. This time it's north of Holderness in Narnia, northbound 93 at this point. In the city, we have some problems right now. There has been a police situation near the Brickington Heights, so please be aware. He's alternately seeking the Constitution Avenue that is not part of the road closure. Mass transit, we still have problems on the TIAs. I'll call your airline units. DC Scaling, New York traffic update is in less than 10 minutes on News Radio 990.
Now the weather with Jackie Diogo.
Good afternoon. The temperature today is going to feel a little bit less peaceful as we are entering into March 1st. Temperatures today will be in the mid-30s. We're going to be below average by a couple of degrees tomorrow, and temperatures a little bit the same, but near 30. And Sunday we'll see some precipitation, about a foot of snow. As we go in the rest of the week, into next week, temperatures will be a little bit below normal. We should be in the mid-30s. Currently, the downtown temperature is 28, going up to 35 in downtown.
Currently in Pennington's Purchase, it is 33, 32 on top of below 32 Mount Clinton, and at Cannon, just hovering near zero in downtown Copenhagen. It is 30, going up to 35 in downtown Copenhagen.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949. 231-272-9949.
BCOP News Time 1221. We are just going to update you on the local news stories. We just these are fluid situations. Let's go live to the Umini campus for the latest.
Station, also looking to get that information.
Okay, let's go to Nina Marcel for the latest. I'm sorry, this is what happens when you're doing things live. Give me a moment. Let's go live.
Good afternoon, Stephen. We just got off left the courthouse in Copenhagen. Lindsay Rodriguez is now charged for shoplifting, and she will be taking custody right now. She's now on bail for about $10,000. Rodriguez is not happy with the situation. She feels like she was set up and she needed to close for the trial of a separate situation where she was charged for prostitution. We're still working to get additional information what happened, other than she's using the Channel 6 account, our sister station. We're still working to get that information, but until we get more information, we're just going to let you know Rodriguez is charged, and we'll have a $10,000 bill. $10,000 was the bill. Reporting live to courthouse, this is Nina Martino.
Oops. Amy, she was talking to Nina Martino on the TV side. And just a fair disclosure, BCOP TV and BCOP 990 are both owned by Eleanor Communications, which owns both of these assets. BCOP News Time 12:23. We will get another breaking news. We will update you as soon as we get more information. We do have some very late breaking news on the Lyft, and we got Tesla, we got Apple, we got a lot going on in business sense. We'll take a moment. BCOP News Time 12:24.
Station would like to remind you that it is a state law to close safety workers' safe during incidents. If you see flashing lights, move over. This message is brought to you by the BCOP on behalf of the New York State Association of Broadcasters and this station. The BCOP Business Breakfast is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DePello will talk to you about keeping fun in the highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 12th at the Old Woodstock Inn at 8 o'clock a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. We hope to see you then. The Middleburg State Department of Transportation would like to remind you that it is state law to give public safety workers space during incidents. If you see flashing lights, move over. This message is brought to you by the MASCOT on behalf of the Middleburg State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
BCOP news time 12:25. We are going to go to 3 minutes of straight business news, and we'll get to Kim Cassidy live in the MIFC newsroom. Kim? And good afternoon, Stephen. There's a lot of news today. We're going to actually throw some of the early reports out. As you know, the breakup of Old Navy and Gap have reported. It's been reported there will be a new spinoff at some point with a mixed holiday quarter. We do have another story in denim on to limited brands. We were reporting this earlier, and now they will be closing at least 53 stores as the company is struggling to deal with competition and consumers' differing interests. We do have another story on Tesla. Tesla has been highlighted today for essentially the new Model 3, which has been announced last night after the Bell stock did plummet in the extended trading. Apple is going to report their shareholders meeting today, and we'll have a live reports on those instances. It's only up just about $0.75 at the moment. We do have another breaking news on Lyft. Lyft has reported an S1 filing with the SEC. They will be trading on the NASDAQ stock market at in a moment. They did lose $911 million in the last quarter, but we'll see that their revenue is growing faster than the losses. That is what CNBC is reporting on one of their blogs. We do have another report that New York leaders have written an open letter to Jeff Bezos asking him to bring back the idea of H1 HQ back to its proposed location in New York City. There is still these reports were very limited last night, but we now have more information as come along. There was a letter that was sent in the local papers as well. With a long list of names of people, representatives, including executives and politicians as well. We will continue to break in with business news at 25 and 45 around the clock and online on News Radio 990 BCOP. This is Kim Cassidy live in the newsroom of MIFC for News Radio 990 BCOP. Got that done really quickly. BCOP news time is exactly 12:28. Time for traffic and motor scale on the 8th. Stacey Skellen's monitoring the roads. There's still some bad traffic tie-ups. What's going on, Stacey?
Good afternoon. We have a stable vehicle on the Frank-Berkey Notch Thruway. The stable vehicle is starting to clear out, but we still have residual delays for about 5 to 10 miles right down the city line. Use exit 91 at this point to get around the situation and use the Union Post Road, your alternate. Moving clockwise around the region, we have another police incident. This time it's north of Holderness in Narnia on northbound 93 at this point. In the city, we have some problems right now. There has been a police situation near the Recreation Heights, so please be aware. Use alternate routes using the Constitution Avenue. That is not part of the road closure. Mass transit, you still have problems on the CIA. I'll call your airline leader to County. The next traffic update is in less than 10 minutes.
And the weather forecast, Jackie Diogo.
Good afternoon. The temperature today is going to feel a little bit less peaceful as we are entering into March 1st. stars. Temperatures today will be in the mid-30s. We're going to be below average by a couple of degrees tomorrow, and temperatures a little bit of change, but near 30. And on Sunday there will be some precipitation, about a foot of snow. As we go in the rest of the week, connected temperatures will be a little bit below normal. This morning, in the mid-30s. Currently, the downtown temperature is going up to 35 in downtown. This is Jackie BCOP.
In the spirit of company, in traffic and weather, this is BCOP Company.
Good afternoon, I'm Stephen Clickford. We have breaking news. There is a bunch of news coming up right now. We have latest updates on the Lindsay Rodriguez saga. The University of Minnebrick is going to be jacking up your tuition. If you have students, we'll get all to that in a moment. Let's go live with the first story with Lindsay Rodriguez. She had just we have Nina Marcel monitoring this story from the county courthouse. What's the latest?
This morning, Lindsay Rodriguez will be in accompanying court this morning after she allegedly stole. This morning, Lindsay Rodriguez will be in accompanying court this morning after she stole a large expensive items allegedly at the Copenhagen Galleria on Monday. She scheduled a private appointment with a store employee for new clothing after she noticed that her account from Channel 6, of which she was terminated immediately following charges for prostitution on December 23rd. They confronted her for committing fraud. It is unclear what she shoplifted. She is scheduled to meet the judge at noon. Nina Marcel, downtown Copenhagen.
Okay, I apologize for that. That is not the right clip. This is just raw and unedited. We do have another story working on in a moment. We will get to that in a moment. If we can, Copenhagen Tea Party has sued the Minnebrick State Attorney General's office for claims of tampering with the town meeting. However, they have they feel that sources familiar with the situation will say that will be dropped. Now let's go to.
We've been calling for the old lady, but
that's not the right clip. We're still working on this. BCOP News Time 12:32. We're going to go to the network for a network update. BCOP News Time 12:33. Checking the markets right now, the Dow's up 66, Nasdaq up 38 points. We'll have more business news as it is breaking. It's a long, busy business day. We'll focus that in a few moments. BCOP news time 12:36. We have new developments right now on the the university system of mini brick. In-state tuition versus out-of-state. If you have students in the education system, you should listen up. We have Jack Trisell live from the scene.
Good afternoon. We just got a word from the mini brick state university system board of trustees that they are going to raise in-state tuition 4.5% to help us shortfall $50 million. However, out-of-state tuition we're looking at is going to be much lower than that, and that's where they think the real revenue is going to come from. And a lot of people are disappointed because the in-state people are subsidizing the out-state. We'll have additional information on the afternoon report later this afternoon, reporting live from the Mini-Brick State University Board of Trustees at Unimini, Copenhagen. This is Jack Trisell, News Radio 990 BCOP.
And as Jack has alluded to, we'll have continuing coverage on this later today. 4.5% for in-state tuitions. If you are a resident of Mini-Brick State and you're going to be a freshman next year, the cost will go up. Despite a student decline, despite demand going down. So we're going to focus on that. We'll keep you posted. There is a news alert also in business. Amazon's planning to open dozens of grocery stores across the U.S. We're not sure if that is including the Whole Foods brand or Amazon, but we will get that to you in a few moments. That is via CNBC at 12:38 Eastern Time. Let's check traffic and weather on these. While at it, we got Stacey Scallon monitoring some really bad backups. What's the latest, Stacey?
Good afternoon. Have a stable vehicle on the plane breaking on a freeway, and the stable vehicle is starting to clear out, but we still have residual delays for about 5-10 miles right near the city line. Use exit 91 at this point to get around the situation and use the Union Post Road your alternate. Moving clockwise around the region, we have another police incident. This time it's north of Horace in Narnia on northbound 93 at this point. In the city, we have some problems right now. There has been a police situation near the parking complaint. So please be aware. Use alternate routes using the Constitution Avenue. That is not part of the road closure. Now, transit, we still have problems on 1698. I'll call your airline ministers. Units have the update. It's in less than 10 minutes. I'm going to see you in 9 minutes. The BCOP is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DeCarlo will talk to you about keeping strong in the highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 12th at the Old Woodstock Inn at 8 o'clock a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. We hope to see you then.
BCOP news time 12:40.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any North American brick-and-mortar market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949. 231-272-9949.
BCOP news time on 12:40 in. We are going to check the latest on. I am lost to where do I go next? All right, we're going to take a break. Stand by. BCOP News Time 12:42. Danny Brickell has a live interview with the Humanity Professor John Brickell on how the Copenhagen handled the infamous rejection to the budget in the town meeting. Danielle? Good afternoon. We're live with John Brickell from University of Copenhagen Public Policy. He will talk to us a little bit about what are the implications for the first time in city history to have residents voted against a budget. Let's go live to John. He's live with us at UMany. Hi, John. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Okay. We're doing it. Just ask us. Why are people so concerned about this whole idea that the voters were against the city budget, and why people should be concerned about?
I don't think there's anything to be concerned about, but just moreover that you have a situation where there are a lot of people that are not trusting the government. Remember, the school district took nearly an hour and a half just to go through the first article in terms of the budget. So, in terms of people going against the school budget defaulting and stuff like that, it's causing a lot of confusion between the school and the town and stuff like that. But for the idea for the town to be defaulted, but that's going to bring more costs, and the cost is to get the meeting set up, people taking time away to see. If a lot of people, if they have the holiday, they would be using the holiday on town meeting to do this. So that's the problem.
How much does it cost for a follow-up meeting? I know I'm not saying follow-up, but you basically have to put another meeting, and I believe it's by April that they have to propose an alternate budget. But what if they deny that budget?
They cannot deny the budget. They actually have to come to a conclusion. So that means that town meeting goes for 48 hours, 72 hours straight. They have to go. They can table it to the next day if they really have to. But I think, given the way Copenhagen runs their town meeting system, I don't think that's going to be much of a problem.
Okay, thank you, John Brickell from University of Copenhagen. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Danielle.
Okay, thank you, Danny. Our next, we're gonna now go to sports now, and you're brought to you by. You're brought to you by the 718 Sports Bar and Grill. What is the latest? I'm taking a break. Still on here. Still on. Yep. Hold on. No, please. Yeah, I don't handle breaking news really well. There's a lot of. I'm surprised that there's a lot of news with left. Amazon. Oh, sorry, my mic's open. Sorry, I forgot that my mic was open. I was talking to my behind the scenes people at Steven.clickfor.7 on Facebook. Let's go do a commercial break and then we'll come back to traffic and weather on the 8th again. And then we'll go from there. BCOP News Time 1247. BCOP News Time 12. BCOP News Time 1248. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. Let's go to Stacey Scanlon. I'll check on the wrecks this midday.
Good afternoon. We have a stable vehicle on the Perkian Notch Thruway. The stable vehicle is starting to clear out, but we still have residual delays for about 5 to 10 miles right near the city line. Use exit 91 at this point to get around the situation and use the New England Coast Road as your alternate. Moving clockwise around the region, we have another police incident. This time it's north of Owners in Narnia. Northbound 93 at this point. In the city, we have some problems right now. There has been a police situation near the Breckington Heights, so please be aware, use alternate routes using the Constitution that is not part of the road closure. Mass transit, we still have problems on the CIA. Call your airline. Your next is DC Scanlon. Your next traffic update is in less than 10 minutes. Audience rating 990.
BCOP News Time 1249. Here's the weather forecast.
Good afternoon. The temperature today is going to feel a little bit less seasonal as we are entering into March 1st. Temperatures today will be in the mid-70s. We're going to be below average by a couple of degrees tomorrow, and temperatures a little bit of the same, but we are starting, and on Sunday there will be some precipitation, about a foot of snow. As we go into the rest of the week, into next week,
I'm trying to get you guys in a good shot here. Ooh, there we go.
Mid-30s. Currently, the downtown temperature is 28, going up to 35 in downtown. This is Jackie Diogo.
Currently in downtown Copenhagen, it is or Paddington's Purchase. There is a it's a 31 going up to 35 for Paddington's Purchase. BCOP News Time 1250. You can see how repetitive and how I'd rather do more in-depth news programming than doing this. Oh, wrong one.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners.
Yes, repetition is good, but sometimes the repetition... Oh, I'm still on. My mic is on. This is going on to YouTube, so I got to be on good behavior.
231-272-9949. BCOP Business Breakfast is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DeCarlo will talk to you about keeping strong in the highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 12th at the Old Woodstock Inn at 8 o'clock a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. We hope to see you then.
BCOP News Time 12:51. Actor Luke Perry is hospitalized. A representative for the actor told CNN on Thursday that Mr. Perry is under observation at the hospital. The spokesperson would not elaborate what led to his hospitalization. Perry had rose to fame in the 1990s for his Fox hit series Beverly Hills 90210 from 1990 to 2000. He currently stars as Fred Andrews on the CW series Riverdale. A number of Perry's former 90210 co-stars took to social media to extend their support and wishes for a quick recovery. In other news today, following up on two stories, a boyfriend charged for throwing a glass cup at his girlfriend. Harry Duclect was arrested for throwing a glass of wine in an altercation with another woman. The fight began late Wednesday in Littleton Heights when another woman tried to grab his attention to click up. The girlfriend then slapped him in the face and threw wine in the glass in her face. When an off-duty police officer came to check in on the situation, she knew him and told him to call the cops. And as she was about to claim assault, he was released on bail for $100. A fire on Wednesday morning in an East Woodstock apartment fire now is showing indications of failure on the property owner who failed to comply with safety codes. According to a report from the fire chief department, cited violations to code, and the property manager failed to file proper waivers and did not bring it back up to code. The MAS fire marshal is now investigating the deadly blaze. BCOP News Time approaching 12:54. We're going to do non-stop business due to the breaking nature next.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brookhaven market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949. The BCOP Business Breakfast is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DeCarlo will talk to you about keeping strong in the highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 12th at the Old Woodstock Inn at 8 o'clock a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. We hope to see you then.
BCOP News Time approaching 12:55 on the dot. Let's go live to the Mainland Business Journal Review Newsroom, and we got a lot of breaking news. Dom Haverson. Yeah, good afternoon, Stephen. We thought, well, HBO CEO is stepping down. We thought the split up between Old Navy and the Gap would be the big story, or even the Tesla's new Model 3. There's a lot more news breaking here. We are reporting one story. Lyft is looking at going public. They've just within the last hour reported that they're filing an S1 filing. There's a valuation of $15 billion. There were reports of earnings losses. We also got a late breaking story just hitting the wires. Amazon is looking at rolling out their own grocery stores, and if you're a Whole Foods customer, watch out. They're looking at even cannibalizing their own store, competing at lower price points, which is causing the grocery sector to go down precipitously. Jeffrey Bezos, this is something that he believes in apparently, and another way to disrupt the market. Suppliers, however, are not immune at the moment, but we will get additional information. The pilots, according to CMC, the pilot project will, or at least they'll start off in LA by the end of this calendar year. We had earnings reports on the major media conglomerates. Tegna had hit earnings, beat the street with political season winding out. They were up between 22% subscription political and 139 million in the quarter. It's on GAAP revenue growth to high in single digits, excluding political Olympics, with total operating expenses in the single mid digits. So that's the latest with Tegna. We do have reports on Tribune and Scripps. We'll give you a complete report. There's just been so much news going on. We'll try to get you a complete story at 1:25 from the newsroom at the Miniland Business Review. This is Don Haverson, News Radio 990 BCOP. And we're just going to go right to traffic in a few seconds.
The Middleburg State Department of Transportation would like to remind you that it is a state law to give public safety workers space during incidents. If you see flashing lights, move over. This message is brought to you by the MASDOT on behalf of the Middleburg State Association of Broadcasters and the station.
Time for traffic and weather together on the 8th. Let's get a quick traffic report with Stacey Scallon.
Good morning. We have a disabled vehicle on the same braking and notch through light. Expect delay 22 exit 86 or 80 on the mainland to discuss the wrong situation. We do have another incident with the police situation near the barracks. Police caution. A mass transit is on supposed to schedule a separate airlines. Please call your airlines. There's many delays. Our next traffic update is in 10 minutes on News Radio 990 BCOP. Let's go to Jackie Diogo in the Channel 6 Water Center. Good morning. Happy March 4th. Today's going to feel more like early February as opposed to early March. Temperatures will be near 35 today, and it will get cooler for the weekend with some snow, a foot of snow by Sunday. Repeating current temperature, it is warning, then going up to 35 in downtown Copenhagen. This is Jackie Diogo.
Spirit of Copenhagen. News, traffic, and weather. This is BCOP, BCOR, and BCOP in 1 Copenhagen.
Happy March 1st. I'm Stephen Clickford. Coming up next on the top of the hour, Lindsay Rodriguez is now been charged for shoplifting, $1,000 bail on her. We do have breaking news on the University of Mini Bricks. The hikes on tuition. We'll have that in a few more minutes. SBS covers the world at 1 o'clock. BCOP news time 106, excuse me. A boyfriend is charged for throwing a glass cup at his girlfriend. Harry Duclat was arrested for throwing a glass of wine in an altercation with another woman. The fight began late Wednesday in Littleton Heights when another woman tried to grab the attention of Duclat, and the girlfriend slapped him in the face and threw him in the wine in her face. When an Albany police officer came to check in on the situation, she knew him and told him to call the cops as she was about to claim assault. He was released on bail for $100. BCOP News Time 107, checking traffic in a moment. Traffic and weather together on the Let's go live to Stacey Scallon at Traffic Control.
Good afternoon. Have a stable vehicle on the Frank-Ferdinand Freeway. The stable vehicle is starting to clear out, but we still have residual delays for about 5 miles right near the city line. You guys are 91 at this point to get around the situation. Use the Union line for your ultimate. And I have another time estimate. This time it's north of Loris in Narnia, northbound 93 at this point. In the city, we have some problems right now.
I had to go fucking shut it down. It's just already being screwed up.
We are used alternate receiving the Constitution Avenue that is not part of the road.
Okay, come on, come on.
Transit, we still have problems with TIA. I'll call your airline nurses. Stacey Shannon, and that's traffic update. It's in less than 10 minutes. I mean, 39.
Forecast today, mid-30s. Right now it's 30, going up to 35. BCOP News Time 109. Fucking little pussies. My family. Damn them. BCOP News Time 12. No, it's not 12:13. It's 1:11. We lost track here. Where am I going on here? There we go. No, I read that one already. An attempt to demonstrate his diplomatic gamble with North Korea's working instead of ended with no joint agreement after Kim Jong-un insisted all U.S. Sanctions would be lifted in this country. It's a bridge too far for the U.S. president, who said Kim Jong-un was offered to take some steps in dismantling his nuclear arsenal, but weren't enough for any sanctions in the country. Sometimes you have to walk, President Trump said during a news conference following the conclusion of the summit, which broke up earlier than planned. This is just one of those times. But it was evident from early in the summit that Trump was seeking to tamp down expectations, repeating that he has no rush to strike a deal even as North Korea continues to advance its nuclear weapons program. I've been saying very much from the beginning that speed is not that important to me, Trump said earlier Thursday on the summit's outset. Speed is not important to me. What's important is we do the right deal. BCOP News Time 112. On a serious, New England Patriots owner Bob Kraft has been formally charged on 2 counts of soliciting prostitution in Jupiter, Florida, and court records show that he's entered into a plea on those charges. Records show that he has requested to go into a non-jury trial, rolling the dice, so to speak, to clear out his innocence. He had visited the orchards of Asia during the postseason NFL games where the Patriots was on the bubble to the Super Bowl. We'll have continuing report coverage on this as MSPN's Kurt Kiley will join the BCOP Sports Show at 5:15 tonight for analysis on the potential disruption of the Patriots' performance after a two-decade dynasty, almost two-decade dynasty. BCOP News Time 1:13. And now here's your tech update. BCOP news time 1:17, time for traffic and weather together next. BCOP news time, please stand by. We're having technical problems at the moment. Quick traffic update. Let's go live to Stacy Scallon at traffic control. Stacy? Stacy, are you there?
Good afternoon. We have no problems to report on the major throughways and expressways other than the Framebridge Notch Thruway is starting to clear up as we go along. There are problems in Copenhagen. There's an incident on the Bridgehaven Heights, so there should be caution there. Mass transit, except for CIA, there's many delays to Collier Airline. Let's go to Paul David in the Channel 6 Weather Center.
We're trying to get that weather clip in a moment. I apologize. We're having some technical problems.
Good afternoon. Today's high will be a couple degrees below normal as we enter into March 1st.
That's already BCOP news time 1:20. BCOP News Time 122. We're going to go to business in several minutes. We are having a lot of technical problems right now.
If BCOP 99 was music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news
My
and
mother's
beautiful,
fucking
high-level
retarded.
information to our listeners. Our listeners are among the most brightest and smart consumers in any North American market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting Consultant Sales at 231-273-9949. 231-272-9949.
BCOP News Time 122. I don't have my rundown. Stand by. BCOP News Time 125. We're going live to the business desk for the latest market news. And yet, this man makes how much billion? Okay, and yet everything, no one gets after him for his successes. really. I feel bad for the suppliers. I mean, were we getting anything from suppliers? How they gonna do? Because I mean, right, that's gonna have problems. Yeah, all right, thank you. BCOP News Time 127. We're gonna do traffic and weather very brief in a moment.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are
I feel
among the most
broken,
bright
too.
and smart consumers in any northern Virginia market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949. 231-272-9949. The BCOP Business Breakfast is a way to network with your small business peers. This month, motivational speaker John DeCarlo will talk to you about keeping fun in the highly competitive business market. Join our breakfast on March 5th. All will start at 12 a.m. Call Krista at 231-272-9922. We hope to see you there.
Traffic and weather together on the Let's Go Live the traffic right now. Let's go, let's go!
Good afternoon. We have no problems to report on the major throughways and expressways other than the Framework Thruway is starting to clear up as we go along. There are problems in Copenhagen. There's an incident of an breaking height, so just use caution there. Mass transit, except for CIA, there's many delays, so call your airline. Let's go to Paul David in the Channel 6 Weather Center. Good afternoon. Today's high will be a couple of degrees below normal as we enter into March 1st. Clear, mostly clear skies. The current temperature is 29, going up to 35 in downtown Copenhagen. This is Jackie Diogel in the Channel 6 Weather Center for News Here 990 BCOP.
That was supposed to be Paul David in the BCOP TV Weather Center. I'm not understanding what is going on here. We're having technical problems right now. BCOP News Time 1:30.
In the spirit of Copenhagen, news, traffic, and weather, this is BCOP Copenhagen.
BCOP News Time is 1:30. Here are the top stories. Lindsay Rodriguez has been charged for shoplifting at local Macy's, as well as tuition hikes throughout the state. We'll have a live report on that. And also, we have business news, a lot of different business news stories. We will be taking that in a moment. BCOP News Time 1:30. Let's start with Lindsay Rodriguez and her apparent legal situations.
Good afternoon. We just got a word from the Many Brick State University.
Wrong story. We're going to go to the story on the UMany hikes for tuition.
Good afternoon. We just got a word from the Many Brick State University System Board of Trustees that they are going to raise in-state tuition 4.5% on top of shortfall $15 million. However, out-of-state tuition we're looking at is going to be much lower than that, and that's where they think the real revenue is going to come from. And a lot of people are disappointed because the in-state people are subsidizing the out-state. We'll have additional information on the afternoon report later this afternoon. Reporting live from the Neighbor State University Board of Trustees at UMany Copenhagen. This is Jack Kosovo, News Radio 990 BCOP.
And we got late breaking details for the Lindsay Rodriguez legal saga. She had been charged for stealing clothing at the local Macy's. Go live to or an early report from Nina Marcel. Nina.
She scheduled a private appointment with a store employee for new clothing after she noticed that her account from Channel 6 was terminated immediately following charges for prostitution. On December 23rd, they confronted her for committing fraud. It is unclear what she shoplifted. She is scheduled to meet the judge at noon near my cell, downtown Copenhagen.
BCOP news time 1:33. Let's go to the network. The network has the latest national news. BCOP news time 1:34. We'll check a market in a moment. Fuck them. Oh, sorry. BCOP news time. BCOP news time 1:36. We're having problems here. I don't even know where to go next on this copy here. Stand by. We're going to take a commercial break. BCOP news time 1:36. Alright. Oh my god. Are you fucking with me? accidentally opened up my mic.
Praying for not through way, so you can get back on your merry way. There are still some residual delays, but now it's down to 5 minutes. The no problems in Florida and Romney. Those instances are clear. Vermont is clear. We have no problems to report in downtown Copenhagen except for the closures on Constitution Avenue and Centennial Road. We also have an incident on the New York State Thruway, but that is causing very light delays on about using left-hand lanes get the workers' space. And if you see what we're not seeing, please be at BCOP 988. Tell me, calls at 236-975-5555. This is Stacey Scanlon, your next traffic update in less than 10 minutes on News Radio 988 BCOP.
Here's the weather forecast.
Good afternoon. Temperatures are a little bit below normal for this time of year. We're looking at a high of mid-30s this weekend, a little bit cooler and a little bit more stormier by Sunday. Right now in downtown Copenhagen, it is 30 going up to 35. This is Paul David in the Channel 6 Weather Center.
Currently, downtown Copenhagen temperature is in the mid-30s, going or low 30s, going up to mid-30s.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Burkina market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949.
BCOP News Time 1:42. Alright, I'm going to cut off the live stream on YouTube. I'm sorry, the signal, we're having workflows blowing up in your face. I apologize. There might have been some expletives coming out of my mouth. This high stressful environment here. So I'll see you folks again Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you.